Okay, let's talk about how to add in an extra uh, lesson into the tutorial. Now, actually, right now I'm in the process of adding an extra one, and I just want to make a few uh, points before we actually create yet another lesson. So first of all, up at the top, you do need to have the right stuff in here, something like this, and and there have been a couple times when I've repeated this more than once, and that will cause an error. You can only have one setup. In fact, you can only have one uh, chunk with the same name throughout. So right now I'm going to paste in an extra part of the this lesson, and there are some repeated names in here with the ones that I already have. So for example, there's a quiz, a chunk called quiz, and I believe what I'm going to paste in also has a chunk called quiz. Let's see if that's true. So going back up here now, let's see what we have. So this is starting here, and here's a quiz. So I'm going to rename that as quiz D. That might be D1 because, well, let's see if there's another quiz in here. And then also, yeah, here's another quiz. So I'll call it quiz underscore D2. And then here's another exercise. Now I believe there's already a 3. So I'm going to call this 3D, or maybe 3 underscore D. And I believe there's already a 4. There may not be, but I'll just in case call this like that. And I don't think there's a 5, but just in case, I'll do that. Okay, now let's see if this works. So I'll save it, and then I'll go to build, and I'll do this. Okay, now it's that part worked. Now let's see if the tutorial works. So I have to go down to this one. This is one I'm working on right now, and see if that works. And it might be working. Okay, so that all seemed to work. Many times I've forgotten to do one thing or another in here, and it hasn't worked. Now, to stop the tutorial, you click up here, and you can close the job here, because currently it's listening. That means there's kind of a server running, and it's waiting for it. But we don't need that. We're not running it right now. Okay, now how to add in a new lesson. So you use this here, which comes from this page here, and to add files and directories for a tutorial. So you create the Learnr tutorial, I think. So you use this command, and then, so we did that actually. I actually have 2 lessons already created. So to create a new one, you use this command again, and then you edit the file that you created, and add in the new information, the new questions, and then you build. So you click the uh, install and restart, and then you can test out the tutorial in the tutorial pane. So let's try that out. So this is what we have to replicate, but we want to create a new lesson. I already have, as I'll just show you, I already have in here tutorials. I have 2 already, but I'm going to create a new one now. So the next one I'm going to create is 541. Now I see actually I named the first one I had 542, and that was the wrong name. I should have named it 524. I don't know how easy it will be to change that, but I won't worry about that right now. Anyway, I'm going to create a new one called 541. You can see that I misnamed this. It should be 524, but I don't really want to try and change that because there are a lot of parts to it, and they probably all depend on each other. Anyway, I'm going to call it 541. What is it called? 541. So 541. Okay, now I have to run this command, and this is going to make a new file here, presumably, if it all works out, a new folder. So I go up to, I just run this. Okay, so it created a new one called 541, and it put all of this, it made this page. Now I just need to edit this to add in the new questions and take out the other ones. Now this is not going to work properly, so I'm going to delete that and put in one that works, which I know these work up here. So I'm going to use this and put that in here. Oops, let's see, I made a mistake there already. Okay, now let's do that. Okay, and then I don't need any of this now. This is just a boilerplate. Okay, and I'll just save this. And then I'll start to add in the questions. So I'll go to here, and this is 541. And I will open this, and I'll open this in a text editor. Although you could open it in RStudio, but I'll just open it here. And I don't want to copy this again because I really already have that. So now maybe these questions require a different library, and then I would actually have to make sure that that's included. But I think this is exactly what I already have, so I won't have to do that here. So I'll just copy these and put them in here. And before I go to the next set of questions to add in here, and by the way, I want to put a name here. I'll call this so before I go ahead and add in another set of questions from another person, let's just see if this works. And so the way that you do that is you build it here and see if it builds. Okay, that part seemed to work. And then try it. So this was 541. 541. Let's see if that works. Okay, that seemed to work. So now I want to add in the rest of them. So I'll stop the server and I'll stop this. Now I see that the names here are 1 and 2 and 3, and I'm pretty sure there will be similar names with other people's questions. So I'll call this 1_D and 2_D and 3_D. Now some of the questions have images, and that's a whole other issue that I won't address, and I'm not quite, you'll have to be careful about how to get images into the tutorial. Okay, now here's another set of questions. So this was 541, which I think is probably here. And so I'll assume that that's right. I'll open this in a editor. And I don't want to copy this up here. And I'll copy this. And you can see that there are similar names here, so I have to be careful. And I'll just call these just to be sure. And I'll first give this name, just to keep things a little bit organized. And this I'll call _y and _y. Now, if you don't have repeated names like this, you don't have to worry about this, but if you do, you need to take care of this. Okay, and then I'll save it, and we'll build it. And then we can check to see whether it works. And this is still 541. So here. Okay, and that also worked. Okay, I think we have one more to add in here. Actually, I think we have two more to add in here. So this is 541. And now again, I'll do this. And I should stop this and close this perhaps. And I'll give this first a name. And then this, and then we should check. So this is probably a unique name. I don't have to worry about that. And this is probably a unique name. And that's probably a unique name, so I probably don't need to worry about those. And now let's try building again, just to see if it works. I'm doing it building each time just to make sure that everything's working, so that I don't have to search through too much code to find a mistake. And then go here again, and what was it? 5, 4, 1. I think this is it. Yeah. And let's see if that one works. And that seems to work as well. Okay, so we've done. We need to do one more. So here and here. Now you could actually just double click this and not do it in a text editor. You'll see what happens. Yeah, it opened up, and this is the file that just opened up. But that kind of confuses me. But you could just copy it and then close it, maybe, just so that you don't get confused. Copy it, and then close it, and then add it in here. So let's just give this a name. And then, okay, and save this, and let's stop this, by the way. Close this, by the way. And let's go to build and try this again. And let's try this again. Okay, so this opened up another page. That was part of the code for some reason, but if we go back to here, it still worked. Okay, so we have been following this part of this page. So starting here, we used this to create a new lesson, and we went. I think that's all we had to do here, and then we edited the file, the first one. And then we added more and more. I added 4 sets of questions into this file slowly, and each time before I finished, I checked each set of questions. You don't have to do that, but just to make things maybe simpler. But anyway, I put all of the questions into this, and then I checked to see if it worked each time. So that's what we've been doing over and over again, just this part of this tutorial here. And then, sorry, we also, so each time though, I actually did this. I built, and by doing this, and then I actually checked in the tutorial page. Now, if you want to add in a new page though, a new lesson, so the last lesson we worked on is this one, but there are more exercises. For example, there's 5.5, so you'd want to add that in, and I'm adding it in from each person who wrote questions. Then you would run this again for the 5.5, and then fill in all of the people's questions, or if there's only one person, then you just do it once. And then after you've added them all in, and if you want to test them before as you add in each one, or just add them all in, and then go back to here, do this again, and you can check the tutorial pane as well. So as I said, we're only so far. This is just a discussion of what's going on, just from here to here. So there's more in this tutorial than that, as you can see, and there's more after as well. But we only went through that section just now.